Monday, 10th of September 2018, the news before the news. Met Police, the most corrupt police service in this country, dropped 30,000 criminal investigations in the first 24 hours last year. Sexual assaults and arson are among the crimes that are being screened out within a day of being reported. The Metropolitan Police are increasingly dropping investigations into serious crime as sexual offences, violent attacks and arson within hours of them being reported, The Guardian can reveal. The UK's largest criminal force screened out 34,164 crimes without further investigation on the day they were reported in 2017, compared to 13,019 the year before. In the first 5 months of 2018, 18,093 crimes were closed in 24 hours, putting the number for the year on track to exceed last year's total. But if you haven't paid your gas or electric, we'll send cops round at the drop of a hat to smash your door in. If you've not paid your criminal illegal mortgage, we'll send cops round to smash your door in and throw you out. The police service is a scam. It is not worth anything. Paying council tax, which is illegal in the first place, and there is no law that says you as a man or woman has to pay it, is a criminal offence, or should be. But of course the councils are crooks themselves, so it doesn't matter, because they'll just carry on and they'll hire the crooked courts out and get a crooked bunch of magistrates to issue a liability order, and the council themselves will send down a bloke that isn't qualified, has no law degree or no legal qualifications, but will carry on anyway. And what are you going to do about it? Because you can turn up and put your point across and we'll just ignore you, because it's not a court, it's an arbitrary room that is hired out for the day to do exactly what it does. Issue liability orders, which are criminal liability orders. They are crimes in actual fact, but don't worry about it, because, you know, we're the council. We can commit any crime we like, and we do. We've got billions in the offshore accounts. We don't need council tax, but we're going to screw you over anyway. That's the first one. And as if to show you exactly what's going on, City kicked out their cops and politicians 7 years ago, and now they have the lowest crime rate in Mexico. But the British are so dumbed down, so apathetic, so spineless, that they'll let their politicians and criminal councils carry on regardless. A town in Mexico recently celebrated 7 years since kicking out the corrupt narco government and reverting back to an indigenous form of self-governance. If they can do it, we can do it. Stand up, grow yourself a backbone and start saying, I've had enough of this shit, you lot, prison. Catholic Church found to have spent over $2 million lobbying to block child sex laws so they can carry on raping children. In light of the growing paedophilia and sexual assault scandal rocking the Catholic Church, it is important to remember that not very long ago the organisation was found paying off a lobbying firm to block bills to sex crimes against children. I'm saying no more on that because you all know that the Catholic Church, the Vatican, runs the planet, is the head of all paedophilia on the planet, and is the head of covering up all the discoveries that we have made as a species for over 1,000 years. We could be living in paradise, except the Vatican has covered up and stopped the things that we have created and invented, like running cars on water, which has been invented since the 1980s, but has been covered up by the Vatican because they need control. They demand control over us. And us having cars that can run on water doesn't aid them, it hinders them. So they have deliberately blocked it and killed it. Like Nikola Tesla, who created free wireless electricity for all the planet, has been hidden. And that's just two of the most obvious inventions that we've made that have been covered up by the criminal Vaticans, aided and abetted by the criminal royals and every criminal government on the planet. The British government is the worst criminal government on the planet, and they are suppressing us whilst deliberately allowing Islam to invade Britain. In fact, they're encouraging the invasion because they know their time is up, so they want to screw the country, every country, while they can. Time to stand up and say no. You criminal politicians, time to go to prison. Along with the royals, of course. The Times. Right-wing radicals make big gains in Swedish election. Bullshit! They're not right-wing, they're standing up for themselves. But because the press is Zionist controlled, if you stand up for yourself, you're right-wing. These are doing what we should be doing. Johnson's allies accuse Downing Street of smears. Ministers condemn suicide vest remarks. Smoke and mirrors to distract you. If you think Boris Johnson or any other MP can make a difference, you're living in cloud cuckoo land. Wake the feck up. Make mine a double. 2 dry days a week is new advice. Right, well, instead of having a go at anyone that's drinking alcohol, let's have a look at why they're drinking alcohol. Well, that would be because the government is corrupt, the councils are corrupt, the police are corrupt, the courts are corrupt, and it goes on infinitum. When we can't see a way out, we drink to try and get pissed into oblivion so we don't have to face the facts that we're living in such a corrupt society. And it is so corrupt. Even the dumbed down, brainwashed, asleep know this. And they're asleep because they refuse to look at it, because it's scary. And yes, it is scary. But if we don't address it, they'll carry on and it will get worse, and we will end up in a full-on dictatorship. Is that what you want? You either stand up or you face facts. You're condemning yourself and your children to live in a dictatorship. Daily fail. Green soup that helped me lose half a stone. And for those that were watching when I talked about the Derren Brown I Can Make You Thin, the fourth one that I didn't mention, but I'm going to say it now, and this will really do your noodles in. So it's eat consciously. Basically, have a mouth of food, chew it, enjoy it, savour the flavours, eventually swallow it. Don't dive straight in, just wait a bit. Wait for your stomach to send a signal to your brain. I'm full. Well, it's not there yet, right? I'll have another bit. So, that's the first one. The second one, oh, it's in a different order, but the second one, when you're hungry, eat. Wow, could have knocked me down with a feather. The third one, when you're full, you've given your stomach time to send a signal, hey, I'm full, I don't need no more down here. Stop. And the one I didn't mention, eat what you like. So, you can eat what you like, you can eat when you like, eat consciously, and when you're full, stop. And you will lose weight. But I strongly suggest you find the Derren Brown mini-season and watch it. I lost so much weight. I was very thin. While still drinking alcohol as well, by the way. But it's your choice. You've got the option. There's the rule. Here's the rules that you can follow. Or not, it's entirely up to you. I'm not like big government, you'll do as we say. I'm giving you some options. As if you want to lose weight, you can. But you've got to stick at it. You've got to try it and you've got to stick to it. And you will lose weight. As much weight as you want to lose. Boris triggers Tory mayhem. 12 MPs vow to keep him out of number 10 after suicide vest jibe at May. Was former Tory PR chief ousted over her relationship with Johnson? Well, she looks quite pretty, and if it's true, why would she sleep with that thing? Unless, of course, she's one of these power freaks. She sleeps with anyone that's got perceived power. The scum. Exclusive, not in any other paper. Bojo's paying. Branded adulterer in divorce papers. Wife knives bonking Boris. How's that? How's she knifing him when, you know, he's done what he's done, and if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. Strictly exclusive. Exclusive only in the Sun. As the last one was, of course. Ashley, I won't waltz to victory. So we've got politicians and TV. Is this really all the papers are good for these days? Bullshit gutter press? It would seem so. The Guardian. Williams, I'm fighting for women's right even though I'm a bloke. Rain dove on modelling and the art of gender capitalism. Met dropping more inquiries into serious crimes on first day. Police corrupt. Corrupt to the core. Aren't worth... You know. Johnson jibes at PM spark open Tory warfare. There's a lot of warfare mentioned in the press. The Zionist controlled press today, as you'll see. And again, on the far right, as it happens, Swedish far right makes large gains exit polls. No, they're not far right. They're standing up for themselves. Unlike a spineless British who just let this invasion happen. But of course, the politicians are fully behind the invasion. They don't give a shit about this country. They don't give a shit about you, as evidenced. If you're poor, if you're on benefits, they used to be called entitlements, but they changed it to benefits because entitlements can't be taken away, but benefits can. And the picture of Mo Farah or whatever his name. Time scale of the scandal is still to emerge. That's talking about Windrush. True scale, sorry. Mirror. Oh, wait. It's a similar picture to the one in the Sun where they had their exclusive. Well, bugger me. No, there'd be no buggering of me. Hang your head in shame, Boris. Fury over Cheek Johnson's suicide bomb jibe at May as Tories plunge into civil war. Oh, that's okay though, because Labour will come in and they'll save us. Oh wait, no. Corbyn, paedophile protector. The only good politician is one that's not a politician anymore. Chef's intruder terror. Hero Jamie fights raider, star chases and pins down burglar after attempted break-in at his family home. So we've got politician and chef. If you're buying a paper, you're seriously mentally retarded. You must be. Telegraph. Nice, I'm as grumpy as the next man. Palin. Southgate calls up rookies for swish clash. We can all save people from suicide. We need to look into why they're committing suicide. And why are they committing suicide? You know what's coming. The government's corrupt. The council's corrupt. The police are corrupt. The courts are corrupt. Social services corrupt beyond belief. And that's why they're committing suicide. Many because they have the children stolen from them to be given to paedophiles in Parliament. Boris. May must cut taxes to help Britain thrive post-Brexit. Tories must show a desire to help the hard workers and the hard pressed with pledge to end rate rises. Right, so we've got these bunch that do all sit in Parliament and tell us about how hard they work and they need a wage increase. Can we see the problem yet? Stalking victim to have say on jail terms. Good. Drunken Navy sailors arrested in Florida. Middle-aged wine drinkers are urged to have a day off. Alistair Cook's last stand. Labour is institutionally racist, says Umunna. Well, f*** off then! John Lewis, chairman, rejects Amazon tax. What has the Amazon tax, because they pay none, got to do with John Lewis? Cryogenics firm only froze client's head. Well, I guess that's where the saying comes from. They lost their head. I. Quality, concise, the future of independent journalism, ruled and run by the Zionists. Oh, I added that bit on because that's the truth. Final meltdown. Was Serena right to complain? No, she's an overpaid, he's an overpaid twat. Spanish lessons. What we learnt from England's defeat. That we can win a game, we can lose a game, or we can draw a game. Well, that's a shock, innit? NHS accused of discrimination against MS patients. Not surprised. Children in the line of fire. Syrian and Russian forces bomb rebels. They're not rebels, they're terrorists. But the papers want you to think they're rebels, when in actual fact, they're UK, US and Europe backed terrorists. You know, like the ones we've got in this country. Oh no, they're in Parliament, aren't they? Yep. On the left, Ian Birrell, just there actually, reports on the rise of the far right in Sweden. Again, it's not the far right. The Swedes are standing up for themselves like every other European nation should do and say, immigration, no, get out of here. As Bulgaria did, I read yesterday, has shot the first immigrant for trying to cross the borders and refusing to return. We all need the same thing. You see how quickly they f*** off back to where they come from, or back to the next European country, and if the same happens there, they'll be back in their own country in no time. Down the bottom, Labour is racist, says Umununa. Well, you can f*** off then. Go back to your own country, and I don't give a shit whether you claim to have been born in this country or not. If you're claiming that shit, f*** off. War Games, how MI5 duped the Nazis. In other words, how MI5 played tricks on a country that wanted peace, that wanted its own rules for its own country. And if you haven't got a clue what I'm talking about, you clearly haven't watched Europa, the Final Battle, or Hitler, the greatest story never told. If you want to know what's going on, watch them two documentaries. I agree, what the Hitler one is 6.5 hours long, but you will change your mind on World War II and 1. And Europa, you will change your mind on everything that's going on, because it explains to you everything that is going on. It is not an accident. These refugees, not refugees, these invaders, this invasion isn't natural. It's being bought and paid for by George Soros because he wants to destroy our country and the rest of Europe. But hey, you know, if you want to ignore that, you ignore it at your peril. I've given you the evidence. If you choose not to see it or watch it, that's your fault. Don't be surprised when you suddenly find yourselves wherever you are. Why drawing a naked model can be good for you. Drunken Navy sailors detained in Florida. Top Tories line up to condemn Johnson. Stop Boris backlash begins after the former Foreign Secretary accuses Theresa May of wrapping a suicide vest around Britain. I agree. 4 ministers hit back, with one calling Johnson's outburst one of the most disgusting moments in modern British politics. In modern British lying, because that's all politicians do, lie. Infighting erupts after it emerged that PM's aides compiled Boris dossier that detailed his affair and use of racist language. You can't trust an MP. You know this, that when their mouths are moving, they're lying. Express. Oh, it's the same picture that the Sun had an exclusive on. Head in hands. Has love split Boris now lost all hope of a leadership bid? Exclusive. Scientists confident of breakthrough. Dementia cure within a decade. Coconut oil. Cure it now. Simple blood test will help predict your risk of getting cruel disease. Coconut oil will prevent you from getting said disease. Strictly wins TV battle of the viewers. So there's some dumbass twats out there still watching that sort of shit. And then you wonder why the majority of the population is still asleep. Gee. Star. TV, politics, and TV. Bodyguard shock twist. Strictly wins TV ratings war. Boris show strained. MasterChef star loves masterstroke. Greg shares home with mum-in-law. Metro. Sun, sand, and why not some studying to escape? Scuba diving. Yes, good. Chunker. Blah, 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 blah. Labour is racist. Well, f*** off then. Strictly back and outgunning X Factor. Kim cuts out the nukes from parade. Ariana tribute to her tragic ex. Serena meltdown over sexist umpire. Oh, it was the umpire's fault. Wasn't her fault. His fault. Senior tourist slam Boris. Outrage at suicide vest jibe follows storm over friendship with blonde. Financial Times. FT's Masters in Management ranking 2018. Central banks need a markets-led approach. Central banks need to be destroyed and wiped from this planet. They're the biggest control system on the planet. The fall of Abraj. Insiders inside the collapse of the emerging markets trailblazers. Sweden heads for dead heat, says exit polls. So that's funny because a minute ago it was the far right have taken over and it's the end of the world. Relief for May as Barnier set for go-ahead to pin down Brexit deal, all pre-planned, all pre-organised. Don't get your heads up your arse about it. Salzburg summit to tackle sticking point. Meeting dubbed a Save Theresa's operation to destroy the UK, that is. Money laundering scandal prompts Brussels to beef up regulatory powers. Okay then. Pakistan joins backlash against China's BRI drive. Quite a lot in the papers today, and not in the papers. I hope you enjoyed the first parts where I was exposing stuff. Excuse me for the expelt words that I were using, but I'm very passionate about this, and as I'm sure you can see you tomorrow on 9/11. Dennis Healy. World events do not occur by accident. They are made to happen, whether it is to do with national issues or commerce, and most of them are staged and managed by those who hold the purse strings.